Hello there, welcome to Alchemize Yourself Tarot. Today, I've pulled a spread here that is confronting what you've been avoiding when it comes to areas in your life that you've been stuck. One of the things that you've been pretending that you don't have a creative, energetic, passionate side to you, right? You've just been some of you have been suppressing this side of you. Many of you are craving adventure. You have something that you're really passionate about that you're wanting to do, but you're afraid that if you go after this passion, you will have to sacrifice people and things that you feel very strongly emotionally connected to and attached to from your past. Because the Queen of Cups and the Six of Cups, this is somebody that, probably has lifelong family and friends and people in your life that are very important to you. And you've always filled a specific role as far as you're always loving others, you're intuiting their needs. That's what we love about the Queen of Cups. We love that the Queen of Cups is always there, always available, always in tune with the people that they're close to. But one of the things that you've been avoiding is this real passionate, fiery side to you. Some of you may have fire in your chart. You don't have to, but you're tapping into like a very powerful, fiery energy here. You're wanting to be recognized. You want to come out of your shell. Sometimes Queen of Cups just is the supportive role in in everybody else's life. Providing that loving support for other people's dreams and goals. But there's a side of you that maybe even a childlike side of you that's playful, that's wanting to go back to a more creative version of yourself. But you're really stuck when it comes to figuring out how to make it all work. Figuring out other people's expectations of you, right? Nine of Swords. Many of you are very stressed. You have a lot of responsibilities. It's not necessarily easy at this time to just break out of this role that everybody's used to you playing. Sometimes the Queen of Cups can be a people pleaser, but it's just part of that genuine love and safety. So one of the things you're avoiding is getting out of your comfort zone. You're comfortable being in the loving, nurturing role. And what's not your comfort zone is being in this childlike, playful, creative, energetic. You really may be struggling at this time to get into your playful spirit. Not childish. I have to clarify that. We're talking about playfulness, approaching your work and your life, not having to take everything so seriously, putting your foot in your mouth sometimes, being more authentic and not having to play out an archetype or role of nurturer. And really what's going to set you free is bringing the two in balance. With that Temperance card, you're going to have to find a way to bring in your emotional depth and love and care for others to balance with this Knight of Wands, this fire energy. I'm feeling very strong, like Sagittarian energy, like you're having to tap into your Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands is very balanced in water and fire. That masculine, that feminine, that activating force with that, deep, intuitive, emotional force, like bringing the two of them together, because this is going to make you a force to be reckoned with. Many of you are closing out this, a cycle of self-sacrifice, self-abandonment, taking on the burdens of others. You're ending that. Because many of you have, that was the role you played. Maybe early on in childhood, you were expected to, care about others before yourself, putting others before yourself. That's many times what the feminine energy is expected to do. Whether you're masculine or feminine, there's this expectation of, putting other people above, their success, their things above your own. So many of you are stepping into main character energy in a big way. So this is actually a really beautiful reading. This is more of a personal reading than a relationship. And you're going to have to evaluate your relationships with other people. People that don't like this new version of you. I feel like that's where this Nine of Swords comes from. You're really worried about people not liking this side of you. But this is a side of you that was always there. You were just avoiding or suppressing it. But you have a lot of potential building up here. You're just needing to let go of this need to sacrifice or put all your energy into other people or things. Sometimes, some of you could even be supporting other people's work or projects or success while downplaying your own. So that dynamic is going to be shifting. You're going to be bringing that into balance where you're able to follow your own dreams and passions. Some of you want to travel. You want to start new hobbies, things like that. Some of you, this is part of your spiritual path to break out of a particular role. It's not that you have to deny the Queen of Cups side of yourself. You don't have to put that into shadow. You don't have to suppress your love and care for other people. You're just needing to bring it into balance with this side of yourself. That's where your glow up is going to happen. And you've maybe been pretending, you've been suppressing how strong you are, how much strength you have. You've been downplaying your strength and your courage and your fiery aspects. Some of you have Leo, definitely felt that Sagittarian energy, but yeah, there's something about you're very strong, you're very resilient, you're very courageous. You've been downplaying that side of yourself, or you're ready to really step into your power. And love is powerful. For who this is resonating with. There's nothing weak about being a loving person, but it's time for you to shift and balance, pull in some of that fire energy. That's where you transmute and really start creating your authentic self. So many of you are pretending and downplaying your strength in order to make other people comfortable or continue to, cater to the needs of others. But that's actually been showing your strength. And the Wheel of Fortune, what are you afraid of? More Jupiter. What you're afraid of being seen. Some of you are actually really shy. You're afraid of putting yourself out there. You're afraid of being on camera or having your work seen. Isn't it crazy? Sometimes shy people and people that work behind the scenes, they're very, hesitant to put their own work and their own life out there. Some of you are actually afraid of change. You're afraid of what this change is going to mean because it's going to shift your relationships and dynamic with other people. And also, some of you have suppressed that Knight of Wands, that fire passion since you were young, since you were children. So this has been kind of an ongoing thing that you've been suppressing. And the belief is that it could be that maybe you feel like it's going to stress everybody else out, or you're afraid that if you start doing your own thing, it's going to stress you out. Like maybe you're stressed at the idea of trying to balance and juggle both roles. You know, sometimes fame, I'm getting fame, or fortune or big changes add stress to our lives for a period of time because you're balancing a new role. And yeah, Five of Pentacles, you're afraid of loss, you're afraid of struggling, you're afraid of not succeeding. You're like, well, you're thinking if you break out of this role and, you know, go your own way and do your own thing, and then it doesn't work, then you've lost being the people pleaser or being in the role of the Queen of Cups. But you've never lost that aspect of yourself. Just remember, you've never stopped being the Queen of Cups. You're just trying to integrate this new energy. And it stresses you out because you feel like, well, what if it doesn't, what if whatever you're trying to do doesn't succeed? What if you lose money? What if traveling is not financially viable right now? Or what if, you know, you put your work out there, your heart and soul out there, and it gets rejected? You know, those are all fears that most people have. Most people don't want to struggle. But people that break out of their comfort zone do have the potential to do really great things when they're willing to go there, to go the distance and, you know, activate more dynamic sides of themselves. So yes, there is the potential for loss and struggle. You know, failure is part of success. Sometimes you fail. You have to try different things before something works or something sticks. You know, that's part of life too. So some of you feel like you're cared for, that this is a safe zone for you. Knight of Wands Strength card is really putting yourself out on the line. And what's benefiting you maybe is this Knight of Wands. You're really wanting to break free. You're wanting to break out of this comfort zone. So you're feeling restless. You no longer can suppress this burning fire and desire inside of you. And the truth is that you can do both. You can honor both sides of yourself. You don't have to like completely throw away your past or, you know, the past version of yourself. You're in the process of integrating it with that Temperance card. Yeah, Ace of Wands. And that's going to bring something into balance by doing something new, by breaking out of your comfort zone. You actually are bringing something into balance. So it's really important that you no longer avoid, you know, doing what you're really passionate about. Stop delaying it or hesitating, because there's something very special about this new idea, this new path that's opening up. It's going to bring more balance into your life. You may even have the potential to be very successful. It's like Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune is about timing, it being fated, or, you know, the timing is right for this. Yeah, the Sky Bridge, mediumship, intuition, and psychic experiences. Some of you have psychic experiences. You've been having dreams and visions with that Nine of Swords, Queen of Cups. You have a strong intuition that that the timing is right for something. And nature. Fairies, love of nature, eco-friendliness. So that could be something very specific. You're going to find a lot of strength and power in nature, getting outdoors, getting out of your comfort zone. You know, Fae energy is very mischievous. It's very much like that Nine of Wands. So yeah, there's something very beautiful brewing up inside of you. And the longer you avoid it, you may miss those little peak times. It's not that you can never go back or never redo something, but you may miss a really good opportunity if you're always delaying those opportunities. That's the important thing to remember is, you know, the longer you delay, the longer you put off having a full life experience. Yeah, some of you are feeling scared. You're scared that something's not going to work out, especially in regards to your soul essence, your identity, your vibration. Maybe you feel like this part of you is going to get rejected in some way. And that is a natural fear. You know, you're afraid that there's going to be some sort of loss, but when it's really part of your soul essence, even if there's delay or failure in the beginning, there's always something in tune with your path. When you're in tune with your path and your intuition is feeling strong and you're trying to balance out, you know, obligation to others with your own desire and passion, you know, there's always going to be some anxiety there. Some of you are dealing with anxiety. You're very sensitive to energy, so you can tell when people or things are getting out of balance. And some of you are going through a struggle that's triggering you to make this change. I'm getting that too. It's like there's an opportunity here to break out of your comfort zone and do something new, right? The timings, maybe there has been a recent loss or failure, and it's like maybe this is the time to follow that passion and that dream. It's like you have nothing to lose, right? Some of you got bad news, and you're like, well, maybe the timing's right. So those are all things to think about. And I mean, you don't want to wait for tragedy to actually go through with your dreams, but sometimes that's the fire, right? The Ace of Wands. Sometimes that's the catalyst for actually doing what you love. We have sovereign choice. Does something or someone have an energetic grip on you? Maybe you're fighting the invisible pull of an old habit. Yeah, nostalgia, something from your past. A toxic tie or a craving disguised as connection. What is keeping you tied, and are you really attached to it? Is it love, guilt, fear, obligation, or something else? Is it worth it? Give yourself the space to decide. So yes, some of you need more sovereignty here. You have tied to a relationship or people or family. Something's been giving you a lot of guilt or anxiety about making decisions for yourself or breaking out of a comfort zone. So I'm really excited for those of you who are starting down this path of breaking out of that old pattern and starting to make your own choices. You know, letting go and releasing definitely toxic relationships or definitely, you know, anything like that that's keeping you stuck in a narrative that's not really your own anymore. So, if you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe, and I thank you so much for sitting through the reading, and I really wish you the best of luck as you continue on your own journey, as I will with mine. So, thank you.